All right, what's up, everybody? I'm going live right now with a quick, very quick night before list of features for this year's Comicpalooza 2022. This is Carlos Collects Comics, and I'm excited to be here. Just got back into town. I'm taking a group on to a church camp, so I'm a little bit tired. But hey, I didn't want to miss out on this chance to talk with you for just a few minutes about Comicpalooza 2022. So that is a convention that's taking place here in the greater Houston area. There's been a little bit of stuff swirling around about it, and so I'm going to address it head on in just a minute and give my thoughts on it, and just little bits and pieces I know about conventions. I'm not any kind of an expert on conventions. Putting them on, I don't know what it takes to do them. I know what it takes to do big, large events, but I can only imagine what a convention requires. So we're going to go over that. I'm also going to give a couple of thoughts on just how we as fans can protect ourselves and make sure that we use our money for the best possible conventions. Because I do think that while we need to support conventions, there has to be a limit to it. There has to be a point when we say, okay, you know what? I'm going to have to put my money towards this other convention but we're going to get into that. I'm also going to go over a couple of the guests that are remaining that I'm excited about meeting, and I'm also going to share about a very cool social media challenge that we're going to be running via Instagram. And I'm going to get onto all that right now. But just a quick couple of announcements. So as you saw on the little opening slide that I had up, I've got we've got 3 different shows that run on a weekly basis here on the channel. Monday Halls Live is Mondays at 10 p.m. Central. We took this past week off while I was out of town. Took a group of kids to a church camp, and it was a lot of fun. They had a good time serving in the community because I like them to get out there. And so we went and were working at schools and churches in the area of the campus, and just helping them with all kinds of revitalization projects. It's important to support the community in that because the church is just one part of a community. You got to keep the whole community healthy and happy and moving forward. The giveaway show was also on hiatus this past week, but both shows will be back up and running this next week at 10 p.m. Central. This giveaway show is going to be very special. It's episode number 30, and we're going to be doing a very special giveaway. I'll tell you about that in a second. Lastly, Friday features. Fridays at 10 p.m. Central is when I will upload new videos like top 10 lists, convention coverage, convention pre-show coverage, creator interviews, all kinds of other cool stuff. So make sure you tune in here to the channel as we're about to break 900 subscribers. That's right, we are growing. And one of the ways that we're celebrating that is with giveaways, because just like on the giveaway show, we promote generosity in the community. So if you haven't already entered, or if you haven't heard, I feel like I've talked about it about 718 times. So this is 719. This book is no longer mine. This slab that I bought, I got it slabbed. I got it signed by David Sanchez, who is the cover artist for this issue of Something is Killing the Children, number 15. This book is no longer mine. This upcoming Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Central during the regularly scheduled giveaway show, we're going to be giving this book away. That's right. All you have to do is to go to the entry video. You'll see it. It's a screenshot. The thumbnail for it just says 850 subscriber giveaway. All you have to do is follow the instructions in that 2.5-minute video, and you will be entered to win for this, but not just this book. There will be other awesome prizes given away the same night. Just like last time, there was raw signed books. There were some cool keys. These will be a step above, including one that went unclaimed from last time. So make sure that you enter to win on that entry video. That's a separate video. It's here on the channel. Pretty easy to find. If you have trouble finding it, you can always send me an email at crosscollectscomics@gmail.com, or you can message me on at crosscollectscomics on Instagram. So this giveaway is coming up. We do have our regularly scheduled shows. Now, here's the deal on the social media challenge. If you are not following Cross Collects Comics on Instagram, you're going to want to go do that, because tomorrow morning the official rules for the challenge are going to go live. But I'm going to give you a sneak peek tonight, because we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So as you know, Paul Comics, my regular host with me on the giveaway show and on some of the Strictly Comics channel auctions, he's hosting there now as well. He's made some other appearances on YouTube. So he's going to be hanging out with us. And here's the deal. This is going to be called the Where's Paul Challenge. So what you're going to do is, if you're in the greater Houston area and you're going to Comicpalooza tomorrow, or I think he's going to be there Sunday as well, your job is to find Paul, snap a selfie with him, post it on Instagram with the caption, "Hey, Cross Collects Comics, I found Paul," and then tag me in the picture. Everybody who does that is going to be entered to win a very cool prize. Because I'm going to be there, I'm going to try to get a couple of autographs from some of the guests that I'm going to cover in a minute. Of those autographs I get, at least one or two of those are going to be given away. I'm paying for those autographs just to give them away to you. All right, so you're going to be able to enter to win. Now, here's the cool thing: if you're not in the greater Houston area and you're not going to Comicpalooza, guess what? You can play too. You can play at home also. We're gonna put up a photo of Paul with a blank background. And what you can do, if you're going to play the virtual edition, and don't worry, this all the rules, like I said, they'll go live tomorrow on Instagram, so you'll have the rules right there in front of you. What you're going to do is you're going to take that photo of Paul, and you're going to do whatever kind of crazy, fake Photoshop, budget, janky Photoshop you can do. It doesn't matter. I'm not looking for technical proficiency. All right, you're going to take that photo, and you're going to place it inside of a larger picture, just kind of like those old Where's Waldo books that we used to see when we were kids. Right, yeah, you're going to do that with Paul's picture, and then upload that to your Instagram and say, "Hey, Cross Collects Comics, I found Paul." And out of those pictures, if you do the play-at-home version, you're going to get there's going to be a prize for most original, and then a random drawing prize, and then for the in-person, there'll also be most creative. I'll do a most creative, and then I'll also do a random drawing one. So that's how we're going to play the Where's Paul Challenge at Comicpalooza 2022 this year. He is going to be out and about through the show floor. He and I are going to be shooting some photos and videos and stuff. But if you see him and you find him and you want to win free books, that's what you do. Run up, grab him. If you scare him, even better. Just go up, get him, snap a selfie with him, post it on your Instagram, tag us. If you don't have Instagram, you can email it to me. It's crosscollectscomics@gmail.com. But yeah, all the rules will be on Instagram tomorrow, but that's just going to be social media challenge. That's not going to be here on YouTube. We are going to be doing coverage, and I'm going to do a little bit more of that tonight. So let me go get started on that stuff, because I know that's the stuff that you probably are watching to be a part of. So this year, Comicpalooza didn't go live with a whole lot of comic guests. I really didn't recognize more than a very small handful of them. And of those, there were 3 that I wanted to spotlight and say, "Hey, these are folks worth checking out." Let me bring my swaggy swaggy music down in volume just a tad. There we go. So, so here's the deal. This year at Comicpalooza, there are 3 creators of note that I'm spotlighting. The first of those is Rags Morales. I'm a huge fan of Rags, even though he's done, I think, some Justice League work. He's also done, he's also done, he's done a bunch of other titles. He did the new Action Comics for the New 52 launch, and he's done other stuff as well. He's been around for quite some time in the industry, but I am a huge fan of Rags Morales from the Identity Crisis storyline. This was a 7-part series that was, it's going on, I think, like 10 years old now, maybe more. It's been around for a while. It was a murder mystery featuring all the members of the JLA. Had a shocker ending. Some pretty weighty, serious stuff. I know it was considered controversial at the time that it, in the year or so that it came out, because there were some creators that spoke out against it. I know Alex Ross was very upset about it, and it was felt like, female characters were not treated, I guess, with a level of respect, maybe. And I don't know the full thing. I just know that Alex Ross was upset about it, and some others were upset about it. So it's considered controversial. The thing I enjoyed about it is one of my favorite novelists, Brad Meltzer, at that time had a contract with DC. And so in addition to the Identity Crisis miniseries, which I thought was just, it was a nice alternative to the typical cosmic, huge storyline that we're used to seeing when it comes to crisis stories. It was very small, it was contained, it was a murder mystery, and it had a very complex ending and motivations for who turned out to be the villain. It also had some notable deaths. It had one of the best comic sequences I've ever seen in print, in Batman and Robin racing to try to save somebody's life. It was so tense and so horrifying to read. And I got a chance to talk to Rags Morales about, hello there, what's up, General Jedi? It's good to see you. But I was really impressed with Identity Crisis, and then Brad Meltzer's work on the Justice League title at the time. He made Red Tornado one of my favorites, the focal character for the first major arc. And I just, again, loved the writing, loved the story, thought it was fantastic. And so all that to say, Rags Morales was very high on my list of autographs to find. So I actually was able to get Rags to sign an entire set, like my entire set of Identity Crisis books when he came through town. And crazy enough, Brad Meltzer was in town promoting one of his books. What's up, Mr. Collector? It's good to see you, buddy. We're talking about Comicpalooza 2022 and Rags Morales, who is one of the guests. And I'm sharing about my affinity for the Identity Crisis story. So, this is Identity Crisis. Had Michael Turner covers. And so on that night when Rags Morales came to town, I went, found him, and then raced across town to find Brad Meltzer, who was also in town. So check it out. There is Rags Morales' signature, 2018, and then there is Brad Meltzer's signature. And so Rags, you've probably seen his work before. This was excellent work he did, showcasing Deathstroke taking out members of the Justice League. This is just hands down one of the best sequences for that. Here's a sequence where all the different superheroes are interrogating villains as the murders are, because it is a murder mystery. There are a string of, it's a string, not just one, of loved ones of superheroes. And so essentially it is a person who is functioning as a functioning serial killer, attempting to take out different loved ones of different superheroes. So I do recommend it. I know it was controversial, but I love it. This is the story that made me a big fan of Rags Morales. So Rags Morales is going to be there at Comicpalooza this year. I don't have anything for him to sign because I got him to sign my hardbound, and then I got him to sign, like I said, all 7 single issues of the book for my personal collection. And the same for Brad Meltzer. I've had him sign all of them. So I might just swing by and just see if I can get like a quick couple of photos with Rags, show him the hardbound, and just say, hey, what's up, and can I get him on camera for like a couple seconds for the channel. So that's one of the reasons. Yeah, he's really he's what's up, Johnny 5 Alive, what's up, buddy? And then Mr. Collector, I'm excited, dude. We need to meet up, and make sure, if you just joined us, make sure and on the rewind, watch the sneak preview on this video of it's a social media challenge that I'm calling the Where's Paul Challenge. The official rules and stuff will be on Instagram tomorrow morning, but I gave a sneak peek. I laid out what you're going to have to do. People who are not in Houston can still participate and win free books. Okay, there's a virtual side to it, and then there's an in-person side to it. And so it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a neat little thing that we'll do. And y'all do whatever you can to embarrass Paul. It'll tickle him just to no end if you run up to him and say, "Oh my gosh, are you Paul Comics from the Carl's Collects Comics YouTube channel?" Yell it out real loud on the show floor. And it'll be a lot of fun. I know he's really going to appreciate it, and I love to see stuff like that. I know where he is today. He was commemorating his dad today. So that's why he's not on tonight. But he'll be there tomorrow at Comic Tracks. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah, that's rewind, watch the deal. And you're going to get free books. Okay, so 2 other artists that are going to be there that I'm going to be looking to get signatures from, primarily just for giveaways. I'm not even going to keep any of the autographs I'm getting tomorrow. I'm using them for the giveaways for this Where's Paul Challenge. Next artist comic creator. She's a writer. Her name is Stephanie Phillips, and you might know her from a little book called Grimm. A lot of people are comparing this to Something Is Killing the Children. This is the Jenny Frison variant that I picked up. Paul keeps us laughing. He sure does. So I'm going to be looking for Stephanie Phillips to get her to sign. I'm going to try to pick up a couple more copies of this before heading over there. So, if I can get them, cool. If not, it's no big deal. But Stephanie Phillips, the writer of Grimm, is going to be there. And then last but certainly not least, a huge artist, cover artist, iconic in his own right, Jock. He did this cover of Batman number 110. I'm going to be attempting to get this signed tomorrow to use as a giveaway. So Jock is going to be there as well. I don't have any information on signature pricing for any of them. So I'm going to guess and say anywhere from $10 to $30 per signature is what you're going to be looking at for signatures. If you know the pricing, drop it in the chat and I'll repeat it. General Jedi, here's what I'll say about it. It's definitely solid, but I didn't get the same vibe that I did from Something Is Killing the Children issue number 1. So I'll just leave it there. But I mean, that doesn't mean anything. My son has just as good taste in books as I do. Kip D, don't give it away if they haven't seen it yet. Don't give it away. All right, you are gonna have to see it up close and personal for the photos. Paul's styling, dude. He is styling. He wanted to get ready for the social media challenge, man. That's what he wanted to do. So, hey, what's up, Comic Book Report? Good to see you tonight. Glad that you guys are all tuning in for this. Okay, so I'm going to stop babbling. I'm going to get to the nitty gritty. So those are 3 reasons to go to Comicpalooza tomorrow. Stephanie Phillips, the creator and writer of Grimm, is going to be there signing. Jock, the iconic artist, you know, we all know him from that Joker cover for Detective, but he's done plenty of other work as well. He's going to be there signing. And then Rags Morales, the interior artist for Identity Crisis and tons of other books. Like, he's done, folks, look him up on the DC Wiki. He has done a ton of stuff. Chances are you've probably got stuff of his that you can get signed. So 3 great reasons to go check out Comicpalooza. Right front, the super happy booth. Okay, cool. No, it's all good, Kit D. It's, I mean, you know, most people have seen it and know about it and stuff. Oh, that sounds really cool. There's a lot of overlap, General Jedi. Yeah, for real. There's a lot of overlap with yeah, there's definitely. Yeah, Mr. Collector, agreed. It is going to be a lot of fun. A couple other things. So I wanted to address, I wanted to give some reasons to go there. Now, also keep in mind that, you know, we're comic creators, but there's tons of other stuff to do. I have a buddy who's going to have Mech War pods. Okay, and this is his company. He opened it up and you know, and runs it, and it's like his fun company that he's got. He's a great dude named Steve, and he's got a company called Mech Warriors or Mech Wars. They're going to be the huge virtual pods. I'm going to try to go by there and shoot a quick clip with him and say hey, catch up with him. But yeah, Steve, cool guy, great fun to get in those pods, those 3D pods, and do the whole, you know, that whole thing. So they'll have that. They'll have sword fighting demos, which my boys loved at the at the previous convention we went to, and they just really enjoy that. So those things are always good. There's going to be a kid zone that we'll be making sure to stop by. Then of course there's going to be Artist Alley, and there's with a ton more artists. I only spotlighted 3, but remember there's going to be a lot more there. And then the dealers area. There's always cool stuff that you can find to spend your money on, whether it be full-size replica lightsabers, you know, the latest greatest science fiction book, you know, and of course comic books. There's going to be tons of comic book booths there that will have lots and lots of boxes. I think a well-known guy in the area, Floyd Ketcher, I think is going to be there. And then, hey, make sure and go by, and if you see Brad or the rest of the guys at Dork Buzz, run by that booth and check them out and say, hey, I'm stopping by to say hey because Carl's Collects Comics shouted you out. So Brad's a great guy, and if you need to get CGC witnessing for any of the books, I think he's going to be doing that at Comicpalooza, and you definitely want to check him out and be a part of that. So those are just a few of the reasons to go to Comicpalooza 2022 this year. I'm going to jump right into this because this has been a thing, like locally here. You know, a little bit there's been some grousing and some negativity about Comicpalooza. Okay, and I get it. I absolutely 100% get it. And to a small, oh yeah, congratulations. A certain panelist that we all know and love, the future Batman is now a CGC witness. So he will be there, and yeah, he's going to be with Dorkbus. So make sure you go by if you're there and you shout out those guys, or you go by, say hey to those guys, tell them I shouted them out on the channel. So look, here's the deal. All conventions have cancellations. The way that they're able to keep going though and keep their fan base intact is by having enough guests that 2 or 3 don't break the bank. And I think that's if I had one positive criticism, one constructive critique that I would offer to Comicpalooza, and I know that they may watch this video and they may decide, hey, we're not going to give this guy press passes anymore. then so be it. But I think, it's important to be fair and honest in my thoughts and opinions about, some of these different opportunities, because you, the viewer, you deserve that. You deserve my honest opinion. And the reality is, I'm a little bit unhappy with the lack of comic creators. Now, I know that what I've heard and seen on social media, I generally don't get involved in, the haranguing and that kind of stuff. I'll see it, but I generally don't get involved in that. But what I've seen is that the booking team has worked as hard as they could to get people. That's what we're told. However, with more and more conventions going live, as fans, we're going to begin to let our dollars do the talking. And so convention producers and promoters have to start looking at, okay, am I providing enough value for the dollar that these fans are going to be spending at my convention? And look, I got a chance to, I've gotten a chance to talk to fans and just kind of get their feelings, little impromptu interviews in line at different events and stuff. And I think that the fair thing for fans is to get creators locked in early, get your guests locked in early. Be fair in your timing of pricing. Don't raise prices before you've put out guests that, like a solid number of guests. And I'm not talking about just, a couple of smaller guests. I'm talking, get a couple of mid-level guests and put them out there and lock them in. Make sure that they're going to be there. There are a ton of comic creators, legendary comic creators, that would come in for a fairly decent price. Now, I know that the economy has changed up. I'm not going to get. Here's the deal. I'm not going to get into better or not, because I see some of the comments, and I'm not going to get into better, worse, this, that, or the other. But I am going to say that the way I've started to approach it, and it's different when you start to have when you have a channel and it's starting to grow and you're offered press passes. So fair disclosure. The conventions, the two conventions that I'm covering this year, both issued press passes to me and my team. So we did not have to pay the entrance fee to go in, and so we're covering them to try to give other fans an idea of what it's going to be like, what the experience is going to be like. Okay, so real quick. So I do encourage going to Comicpalooza this year. Because I think there's enough, but I think that moving forward, there has to be some better communication from the convention, and then there has to be some communication from the fans to the convention, because and I asked about it earlier this year to a friend I knew over there, but I didn't pursue it or anything because I was just like, I'm busy and I've got a lot of other stuff going on. This year, I think I'm going to try to see if I can set up an interview and just find out, hey, what happened? Not necessarily on camera, but just, hey, let me see from your side. Tell us from your side, not on social media, but tell us from your side what happened. What's the landscape really like? And how can other Texas conventions get more guests and more comic creators and not face the same problems, And I say it in a respectful and positive way, because I like to be respectful. I like to be positive. I like to keep the peace. I don't like it when there's, drama and all that kind of stuff. I take great pains to try to keep that out of my sphere, But I think with conventions, it's a lot of money that fans are paying. And so there is a level of accountability that has to be held for those who would be putting these conventions on. And I'm not just talking about Comicpalooza. I'm not. It happens to coincide with it this time, but I'm talking about any convention. there's a trust between convention and the fan that is, I mean, there's a certain trust, and it can only be broken a couple of times before a convention goes under. We've seen conventions like, I can't remember what the name of that one was. This was from several years ago. They kept moving it back, and I think this was before COVID. They just kept moving it back, and it finally just kind of collapsed and imploded on itself. And that happens a lot with these conventions, and I don't think it's fair for fans. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I hear y'all, Comic Tracks and Future Batman. I know that this is very much a specific Houston thing. I think that, though, the thing to be careful on is you don't want to, you don't want to be like the city that lets its sports team go away. You want the sports team to stay, but it might need some revamping, some work. So here's one thing that I came up with. I'm calling it the rule of 5, but it's not based on 5. Okay, so here's what I do to make sure that I'm not going to spend too much money, or that I'm not going to end up not getting my money's worth at a convention. And I call it the rule of 5. Okay, I look for at least 5 creators. I wasn't going to bring them up because Space City was very good to me when I created a superhero web series years and years ago, and that'll be a subject for a future Friday feature or something. But I created a superhero web series, and they were very good to us. George and the rest of the team were very good to us and giving us a lot of opportunities, and so it was pretty cool. So I'm not going to dog Space City because they were good to us. So, but no, I know about. Well, I know there was a lot of shadiness going on. I'm going to take a pass on getting into that one because I think there was a lot of factors going on there. But here's what I want to say, like for fans to protect themselves, come up with a rule, like I call it the rule of 5. Come up with a list of at least 5 creators or reasons that you want to be at that convention. And then, at least 5. And so if cancellations start happening, like for, there was a recent con here in Texas that I went to, Jim Lee, the Miranda brothers, Carl Potts, Tony Daniel, Donnie Cates, Tyler Kirkham, and Humberto Ramos were all people. Those were all people that I wanted to go there to see. Now there was others that would be signing there, like Michael Golden, and Freddie Williams II. Like there was a lot of others, but I made a list of at least 5 reasons that I wanted to go to that convention. That people that I wanted to meet, talk to, see if I could get them for an interview on the channel, get some books signed, so on and so forth. So as the cancellation started, I started Xing them off, but my big 5 were still on the list to appear, and I did have an opportunity to meet and interact with each of those 5. And there was others, but I just was busy and I didn't get them to sign anything. And I met some other new creators who I'm hoping to spotlight here on the channel. But just think it through that way. The rule of 5. The reason I think of 5 is because if you can see at least 5 solid comic creators that are on your list that you either want to meet or get autographs from, then a convention is worth it. In my opinion. Now, the further away the convention gets, the more you got to do. To me, the more number, like the higher the number of people it takes to make it, quote, worth it. So those are just a couple thoughts. But Comicpalooza, I think, I wasn't gonna. All I said. I didn't get 5 years ago. Well, man, then come down to Texas and hang out with us, Kip D. All right, I'll put you on the channel and get you know, yeah, have some fun. Yeah, and I think traveling is a good thing because all of us need a break. All of us need a vacation from our day jobs. So I highly recommend going to a convention and just enjoying it. You know, I almost don't even want to, in some cases, I almost don't even want to get a press pass because then I'm required to do, you know, coverage of the convention. Sometimes I'd rather just go and just hang out. You know, I think, you know, some high-level comic influencers, that's all they do. And they get paid to come out there and they just hang out. Well, General Jedi, you'll yeah, we miss you, buddy. Hoping that you get to come get some kind of a furlough to come back to the States sometime soon. I'd just love to have you at one of our conventions. So, you know, here in Texas. There's, let me see, I've got an email here real quick with a couple of other items that are okay. So a couple of things to know. There's, let's see, the schedule is online for all the panels. Transportation or parking is always going to be an issue at the comic convention. I'm going to be working to, well, I'm not going to give away my parking spot, but I'm going to try to find a good parking spot this time. Let's see, props, rules and guidelines, security, FAQs. Let's see. Yeah, so they are open tonight. They were open tonight. I did not get to go down there because I just got in town. But yeah, there's the exhibit floor and the dealer's alley. You know, so there's going to be a lot of cool stuff to do. And I'm looking forward to us, you know, going there and checking it out. And definitely on Monday, and on Monday's episode of Monday Halls Live, I'll have a couple of guys that were there on to just kind of recap and talk about it and share and stuff. So yeah, you know, the last thing I'll say about it is that to a certain extent, when an area and you want a strong convention in your town, there's two key things: support and communication. And if those two things aren't working out, then accountability. And, you know, accountability, the market is going to decide, because, you know, if one convention's not servicing the needs of a fan base, then, you know, another convention is going to come to town. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. That's, you know, that's free market economy at work. You know, that's just how our country is. You know, if there's a fan base clamoring for something and they're not getting it from, you know, the one provider, others are going to pop up. You know, I've heard rumors and stuff, but I mean, nothing concrete. So I'm just saying that, you know, because I'd love for there to be multiple conventions in town and I could go to all of them, you know. And I know there's several smaller ones that are faithfully doing their thing. You guys keep doing your thing. That's good. I hope all of them blow up and get big and get big guests, because, you know, it's great for the city. And this is the fourth largest city in the country. We should have a major comic convention going on here, you know, with major stars flying in and major announcements being made. And yeah, it should be a big deal because we're a big city. So yeah. Yeah, I know. There's fans of the new convention that are coming in, but there's two that I know of that are in the works. I'm looking forward to getting more information on those and sharing it with y'all. But hey, look, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. This is way longer than I expected to go with it. I feel like I've just kind of been rambling. Make sure you catch on the rewind the rules for the Where's Paul social media challenge. Like I said, the rules for that, the full rules with all the information and supporting stuff that you need, is going to go live No, it's number 5 or number 4 by population, General Jedi. Yeah, make sure you watch on the rewind. Make sure that you go and enter to win. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so, because we've got the big 850 subscriber giveaway, and we're so close to 900. I'd love to break 900 at this weekend at Comicpalooza, and the goal is to break 1,000 by the end of August. So we'll be doing some other cool stuff to help do that. Yeah, I think that's a good question, Kip D. And I think there's some people that are doing it. Some conventions that are getting built and put together even as we speak. That it's a lot. It's focused on comic creators. But as comic creators, we have to spend the money to support it to make it worthwhile. So it's kind of like a cycle. We have to be part of an ecosystem and symbiotic to make it all work together. So, hey, thanks so much for tuning in to this. I know I didn't talk as much about Comicpalooza, but the bottom line is this. I encourage you to support the convention and to be there tomorrow and have fun chasing Paul around the show floor to get a selfie with him. I can't wait for this. I'm so excited. All right. So, hey, thanks for being here tonight. I'll see you guys. We'll see you. I'll do some Instagram lives. I might even do a couple of YouTube shorts tomorrow. I'll try that out. But very, very excited. And I will see you guys next time. All right. Y'all take care. Let me figure out how to... My computer's not working right. All right, guys, take it easy.